On behalf of the National Youth Council of Ireland, I am delighted to welcome you all here to this important event at this important time in history. World governments have been meeting to negotiate a new set of world goals called the Sustainable Development Goals for the betterment of everyone, and particularly those living on the margins. There have been discussions and negotiations on everything from poverty, hunger, health, child protection, inequality, education, unemployment, climate change, development, gender equality, youth, water and sanitation, peaceful societies and sustainable development, to name but a few. These negotiations are building on a previous set of goals called the Millennium Development Goals, which were agreed in the year 2000 with a time limit of 15 years. And, as you might have guessed, this means that their term of office, if I can call it that, finishes in 2015, and that is this year. And so now we're looking at new goals called the Sustainable Development Goals, which will run from 2015 through until 2030. In creating new world goals, we must learn from what has happened in the past and make strong efforts to ensure that this time around, no one gets left behind. This year and for the next 15 years, the new goals, all 17 of them, will act as a plan, our world plan, to make the world a better place in which to live today and into the future. So 2015 is a crunch year, and the next 5 months are particularly important because it is during this time that deals will be done and the new goals will be set in stone. Ireland is taking a lead on the world's negotiations together with Kenya, and this is something to be very proud of. 2015 is also the European Year for Development, where we make special efforts to raise the profile and importance of development to Ireland and Europe. Indeed, this month, in February, focuses on education, and we are particularly delighted to mark this theme today by bringing people together from the formal and non-formal sectors who work with young people on development issues. As citizens of the world, young people have a key role in ensuring the success of the negotiations. Young people are and will be important players in the implementation of any new plan agreed. Indeed, Ban Ki-moon, the head of the United Nations, in a recent report referred to young people as being the torchbearers for the new goals, the Sustainable Development Goals. This next year is one of the key moments of our time, and we at the National Youth Council of Ireland want the youth sector and young people to have the most up-to-date information. We want to explore how young people in Ireland can play a role in the process, in the run-up to the final agreement, and in the implementation of and advocacy around the new agreed goals. To date, young people have been involved in influencing the negotiations, and young people throughout the world have had their voices heard through surveys, Google Hangouts and webinars, training and education projects, lobbying and policy making. Young people have spoken at the United Nations about the world that they want. We in Ireland don't have a UN youth delegate system at the moment, but we hope that that might change and that we put in place a system where young people in Ireland can impact at global level and have their voice heard. Having a voice at all levels of society is more important now than ever before for young people. For example, there are 1.8 billion young people aged 10 to 24 in the world today, and this is the largest in history. Close to 90% of the world's youth live in developing or poorer countries. And more than 500 million young people aged 15 to 24 live on less than $2 a day. And we could be here the whole day talking about different statistics. Despite the significant progress that has been made in the past, and there has been significant progress, this generation of young people has been left behind. They are still denied the opportunities that they need to realise their full potential. In Ireland, through the Development Education Programme, we all work to support young people to increase their awareness and your awareness and understanding of the interdependent and unequal world in which we or they live. Development education challenges perceptions of the world and encourages young people to act for a more just and equal society at a local, national and global level. For the National Youth Council of Ireland, quality development education shares many of the same principles as good youth work. These include starting with and valuing young people's own views, learning through participation, promoting equality, responsibility and mutual respect. The overall aim of this roundtable today is to raise awareness and support learning about the post-2015 agenda and the role and the importance of youth involvement. This event today, and others like it taking place around the world, is setting out to support young people and those who work with young people to be on the right side of history. That when we all look back in 15 years' time, we can say, well, that was a job well done. Today is not just about young people being involved, but it is about how can we strengthen the engagement of young people. Amina Mohammed, a special advisor to the UN Secretary-General, on a recent visit to Ireland, called for greater engagement with and by young people, that they and you have a role to play. Indeed, Ban Ki-moon, in his address to young people in New York just last week, made 3 calls to action to the world's young people. And these are, number 1, help us drive sustainable development that is people-centred and planet-sensitive. Number 2, fight injustice and equality with solidarity so no one is left behind. And 3, be an active global citizen. It is an exciting time. It's an exciting time for youth policy development in Ireland, given the publication of Better Outcomes, Brighter Futures. Some of you may have heard of it. It's the national policy framework for children and young people aged 0 to 25. This will be a whole-of-government approach to policies for young people and children across all government departments. NYCI and others in the youth sector are working to ensure development education has its place in the new strategy, particularly under the theme of connected, respected and contributing. Irish Aid is also writing their strategy for development education over the next year, and our hope is that the youth sector and young people will be at the heart of that. So I've spoken for long enough. So finally, I just want to thank you all for being here today. It's an important day, I think, for all of us. I want to thank the speakers, the presenters, and above all, you guys, the participants. We hope that in today's event, that you will all be inspired and challenged in equal measure. Thank you.